There's two ways to depreciate property. You got straight line depreciation, automatically happens anytime someone purchases a property. The federal government says, commercial assets depreciate over 39 years, anything residential over 27 and a half. You essentially write off any of your investments over that time period. So you buy a fourplex, right? 4-unit building for $1.2 million. Your CPA is going to go, you need a depreciation schedule. The federal government's going to say you need a depreciation schedule. Well, what do? They're just going to take your purchase price, 1.2, minus a portion for land, let's say $200K. So now you have $1 million of tangible assets, the building, and they're going to divide it by 27 and a half. Welcome to another episode of Straight Up Chicago Investor Podcast. I'm your guest, Kevin Cawley, Cost Seg Kev, as always with me, your hosts, Tom and Mark.
Oh, I love it. Boom. Nailed it. Heard you all the way at Caldwell.
I practiced in the car.
That guy at the red light was probably like, whoa, what is this dude doing?
Yeah, no joke.
So man, summer, you got your projects going on. You never got that building though, I heard.
Yeah, that one got snaked from me. I got a few other ones coming though. We just put a bungalow under contract. Thank you, Teddy Kuhlman. So we're rocking and rolling.
Bungalow, where's that at?
Ravenswood Manor, doing 2 over there now.
Nice.
On the north side. So my big news though, right before we started, my tenant texted me there. She was pregnant and the baby just came. So I got a baby picture from one of our tenants. That felt good.
It's not yours, right?
No, I know. But it's cool. Like,
That's enough.
Yeah, I got enough. But it's cool. Like, these big life moments happen in your building,
yep.
Right? They're first building together, engagements, kids. Like, I don't know. It's kind of first.
Had that too. You never underestimate what people are going through. Like, and they're doing it in your house, whether it be kids, like you said, or stresses or divorce.
The good end. I'll focus on the good.
Yeah, focus on the good. But like to be able to provide them that experience and make it at least not add more friction. Like that's what I try to value in our team. Just be able to not make their life more difficult and make it easier and make it definitely easier for them to renew.
Yeah, like 10 years from now, they should look back and be like, oh, those were good times.
Yeah.
Like they should look back on that. I have kind of a funny story. We had a young couple moved in, real young. They're like 22, their first place together. I give them the keys. You can tell they're all excited. And I'm walking out and I forgot their mailbox key. And so I was like, oh, crap, let me go back. And they were like embracing and like hugging and like crying. It was like this real special moment. I was like, duh, your mailbox key. I forgot to give it. Sorry to ruin your moment. They're still with me. I still talk to them. Bring that up every once in a while. Like, you could get back a different time, dude. What are you doing? So, all right, Cost Seg. This is a good one for us.
Yeah, for sure. So,
all right, housing provider tip. Let's do it.
All right, so housing provider tip. We're talking about their experiences your renters have. When you mess up, you can't just make it even. So if you want your tenant to value, and you're going to make mistakes from time to time. You might not get something fixed fast enough. You might not be able to get access for a vendor to get in. You're going to mess up. And when you do it, just doing what you're supposed to do already isn't making it right. You have to go above and beyond. And I'll give a quick example. Yesterday, we had a tenant move in, and we messed up. There's still a pile of garbage in the garage, and the cleaning lady didn't hit the place yet. So, yes, I had to get over there and get the garbage out of there yesterday, and I had to get the place clean, and I had to clean around them moving. But that's not enough. Like, they're pissed. They're already stressed. What I did is I called them up last night. I said, there's a $100 gift card for Amazon in your email. There's a $100 gift card for Home Depot. And I'll give you $100 if you want to run the cleaning person through when you're settled in, because I know we had to probably clean around all your boxes today. She was super grateful, sent me a text follow-up saying she above and beyond, it was more than I had to. But it's really hard to recover once you mess up, especially on move-in. So the whole point of today's tip is to simply, when you mess up, just don't make it right, go above and beyond. And a couple weeks ago, I gave the tip about the Starbucks app and downloading that. That's a perfect way to overcome your mistakes and go above and beyond as well, too. So,
all right, good stuff. All right, our guest today, one of the more personal ones. Glad to have him back. It's been 4.5 years, episode 59. We had a couple Tuesday tips in there, but it's been a while. Glad to have you finally in the underground. Without further ado, Cost Seg Kev, welcome back.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Somebody asked me your name the other day, what your real name was. I'm like, fuck, I had to go look it up. I knew it once I saw it, but I just didn't resonate, which is such a huge thing to say, like that you've created this whole persona. Persona, yeah.
I would say it's a good thing too. I hope everyone calls me Cost Seg Kevin. It's like a Superman thing, Clark Kent, it's Kevin Cawley.
There you go.
Cost Seg Kev.
All right. So we got a lot to cover. Before we get into the nuts and bolts, for our listeners who don't know what a cost segregation is, can you give the 2-minute 101 on what is a cost segregation? Why should an investor care?
Sure. So there's two ways to depreciate property. You got straight line depreciation, automatically happens anytime someone purchases a property. Unless you know someone very cool like myself direct, or have a smart, savvy attorney or CPA who's going to recommend you do this, or at least look into it. Everyone should always look into it at minimum. You won't know that, right? So the federal government says, commercial assets depreciate over 39 years, anything residential over 27 and a half. You essentially write off any of your investments over that time period. The government lets you. So you buy an investment property you buy a fourplex, right? 4-unit building for $1.2 million. Your CPA is going to go, you need a depreciation schedule. The federal government's going to say you need a depreciation schedule. Well, what do? They're just going to take your purchase price, 1.2, they'll minus a portion for land, let's say $200K. So now you have $1 million of tangible assets, the building, and they're going to divide it by 27 and a half. Okay? Let's just do the math real quick now.
There you go. While you're doing that, one thing you mentioned was commercial, but in these terms, like a 20-unit building is still residential for depreciation purposes. Is that correct?
Good point. So for tax purposes, you could buy a 200-unit building. It's going to be 27 and a half years.
Yep.
But if you're a broker, you're calling that commercial all day. But
correct.
For tax purposes, it's going to be 27 and a half.
So the commercial is strictly your warehouse, something with a heavy retail component, like a true.
Yeah. There'd be no residence. No residence.
Got it.
How does mixed use get
So it used to be different. You used to split it. Actually, that's a really good question.
32 and a third?
No. So they used to split it. Then they changed the law almost 2 years ago. It's based off the income. So it's a weird number too. Like 72 point something percent of the majority of the income comes from commercial. They're going to classify it commercial.
Oh, so whichever one's a greater.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then the number I'm using is not, it's a weird number. Just put it that way.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact thing, but
Yep. All right. So going back to our example, though, you have a $1.2 million building.
Yep.
$2 million goes to land, so you have $1 million tangible asset.
Sure.
Depreciate over 27 and a half years is X per year. What's the number?
We did the math. I wish I could say I did the math. So 36,363. Call it 36K. So back to the equation. You got $1 million asset divided by 27 and a half. Your depreciation is going to be 36K a year, every year, from year 1 to year 27 and a half, or up until you sell it. So what we do, a little history, I guess. This came in the tax law in 1997. The Hospital Corporation of America and Walgreens was sued by the IRS, saying, hey, you're writing things off way too fast. They came with their receipts, said, hey, no, every 5 years we're replacing the carpeting. Every X amount of years we're repaving the parking lots, and so on. They lost. The IRS paid both $80 million. And so the IRS said, we have to come up with protocols and processes so the average investor could take advantage of this. So our prior CEO, we got bought by private equity a couple of years ago, almost 2 years ago. But our CEO, Jim Shreve, was one of 16 engineers commissioned by the IRS to develop these protocols and processes. So I kind of say we work with the godfather of this stuff and intimately known by the IRS. So circling all the way back now to this example again,
You're going to keep going.
$1 million asset divided by 27 and a half, your write-off's 36K a year. So now that we have this in tax law, we say, wait a minute, there's a lot of parts and pieces and components that make your building what it is. Not all this crap's going to last 27 and a half years. So we take a building apart on paper, so to speak, and we'll say, hey, the flooring, cabinets, countertops are going to last 5 years, not 27 and a half. And then we'll look at the exterior fencing and drainage, sidewalks. Hey, that stuff's going to last 15 years, okay? So we put values on all of those, kind of like an appraiser would. Only appraisers are looking for what's the value of a building. We're looking at what we could depreciate. And so by accelerating the depreciation, we're taking these things off a 27 and a half year timeline and compressing the amount of time it's going to take to depreciate fully. So Cost Seg 1.0, anything we put in a 5, 7, or 15-year bucket before all the big beautiful bill, those items would depreciate over 5 years. So if your cabinet's in $1 million property or worth or the 4-unit property we're doing, we value them at 20K. Well, why divide that by 27 and a half? We'll divide it by 5.
Yep.
So you're getting much bigger write-offs on these smaller parts and pieces.
Yep. And just, I'll oversimplify the whole thing. the two main benefits for the investor are one, time value of money, right? That in that example, that 36K 20 years from now, 36K isn't worth what it is today.
Yes.
Right. So getting it, and then two, you can kind of plan around your personal schedule, especially if you're a real estate professional.
Yep.
Like, hey, I'm having a big year. I need as much as I can this year. Right. Like you can kind of gamify the system to your personal returns.
I like to say, I just had the call in your guys' parking lot. It's basically we're going to create a chess piece for you guys, and you and your tax advisor decide when and how to play it, so to speak. So I like that analogy. You mentioned one thing, and I thought you were going to segue to it, but you didn't. No big deal.
Oh, what is it? Is it a cliffhanger?
No, I don't. I just had it, and I thought you were
busting our balls. No,
I thought you were going to guide me to it, and then it disappeared. But.
All right, so we'll keep guiding you. So
sure.
Let's do another simple breakdown. What is the difference being a real estate professional versus not being a real estate professional?
Sure.
How does that affect you in a cost segregation?
So cost seg, just because you own a property, an investment property, doesn't mean cost seg's a good fit for you. It's not for everybody. If you're a real estate professional, the main way to qualify for tax purposes doesn't mean you're a real estate broker or do commercial loans or do cost seg, none of that. It means you spend 750 hours materially participating in the upkeep of your building. That means driving to the building, collecting rent, cutting the grass, shoveling snow, any of that stuff will qualify. Will count towards your hours. Okay, so if you're a real estate pro, the losses generated from accelerated depreciation, it's usually, let's say, we'll take 3 to 10 years of your straight line depreciation and roll a ball and give it to you today. If you qualify as a real estate pro, you can take majority of that depreciation up front as a real estate professional. If you're not, you do not get to participate in this. So you get a little more depreciation than you normally would, but majority of it is when you sell the property, then our big chunk of depreciation gets deployed to go against your capital gains. So it's not good. It's really good for guys who buy and hold long term. Let's put it that way. Being a real estate pro and cost seg. If you're a mom and pop owner and you don't qualify for a real estate pro, perhaps not. Always, I'd say let's look into it, but happy to do an analysis. But at the end of the day, it probably won't pencil out.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but as a real estate professional,
you're wrong.
You're not a pro. As a real estate professional, like I'm flipping, I have all this other income coming in. I can use the benefits of cost seg against that other income.
Yes.
Right. That's the biggest advantage of, kind of timing it of like, hey, this is going to be a good year. Let's cost seg some things and help bring it down. Whereas if I'm not a professional,
sure,
that depreciation can only go against the gains from that building or a subject, like other like passive incomes, like a few other things, but not against like your W-2 or anything, any of that earned income. Is that accurate or
it
am I
is?
off?
I'm glad you brought it up. So I've done cost segs for guys who have a ton of passive income, stocks, so where cost seg made sense. But if you don't have anything to offset it, it's like a moot point. You have all these losses that can't go against anything.
They do roll over for a while though, right? Like you get a little bit of a runway.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. But the bulk of the depreciation will come, the accelerated depreciation, if you did a cost seg, not a real estate pro, would come when you sell the property to go against your gains.
Got it.
Side question. Can somebody be a real estate professional and still have a W-2 job?
Yes. So it's a little tricky, but you could. We're trying this one for this guy. It's not my decision, number one. It's always the CPA. So I'm not a tax advisor.
Yeah, you're doing the cost seg. Like you're providing that.
I'm the niche provider, right? That's it. So not tax advice, but there's a guy I'm working with at Google, makes like $800K a year. It's W-2, but that's not a typical place to work. They don't account for your hours. They kind of give you tasks. Here's a deadline. You can finish it in a week or whatever, but just be done by this day. You know what I mean? So the CPA we're working with, he's trying to come up with a way to qualify him.
Yeah,
because again, it's not like a normal 40-hour a week thing over there. So it'll be interesting when that comes out. I'll definitely tell you guys, how that goes. But who knows? It's kind of it's a risky play, but it could set some type of standard.
Yeah. Well, we've seen other examples too, where if husband and wife, the wife goes on maternity or whatever, like make her the real estate professional.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot.
If you're filing jointly.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways you can make this thing happen if you really put your mind to
Because
it.
you can get that through two people then, or one of you two can qualify for it, and you still get the benefit of your spouse. So yeah.
Yeah. So that's a big thing in the short-term loophole. So I work with,
Talk about that.
we'll go into that, but a good client of mine, his wife's a well-known dermatologist. So he's the real estate pro. And she qualifies for the benefits because he's the real estate pro because they file jointly. So that's a big one we're seeing. And then we're seeing, I've had multiple clients this year where they tell their wife or husband, quit your job because it's more beneficial to take the depreciation with the real estate pro than their salaries are paying them. So it's pretty cool too to see that. The short-term loophole I mentioned we'll go into. A lot of high-paid W-2 guys are doing that. The thing is, you're stuck into buying a short-term rental. You know, I don't know how that market is currently. I don't know if you guys know, but you got to buy a short-term rental. Then you only need 100 hours of active management to qualify. So if you did a cost seg on a short-term rental, you'd get the benefits of accelerated depreciation, whether or not you're a real estate professional.
Yes.
That's only 2 hours a week.
Think about it. I know. Now, I don't know what qualifies. Like, a lot of guys manage Airbnb from their phone? I don't know how that works exactly, but seeing a lot of people, you know, high-paid attorneys, CPAs, docs, just gobbling up short-term rentals, all good. I'm happy to help them, but it's pretty wild that came out.
I can understand why though, because when you did my buildings, like it was like a 6-figure saving. Like it was a big number, you know. There you go. We'll give you a plug.
Now, was that year one, or is that over the first 5-6 years? Like, what did that look like for your specific scenarios?
The first year was a year we probably flipped like 12, 13 properties where like, you know, income was very high and like this offset a ton of taxes. Now, the counter to that is like, if I went to sell those buildings today, there's recapture, right? Like you'd get hit with it now.
I want to ask the question on recapture in a second, but just so everyone's on the same page, I'm
a real estate professional.
You're running a bunch of flips, and you're getting taxed as ordinary income there as
like 40%, like a huge number.
And you're in the other side of here. You're going and buying larger buildings, doing these rehabs, and then doing the cost seg, and that cost seg benefit is offsetting the capital gains that you are gaining on the flipping.
Going back to his example, let's say you have like a $2 million building. It's the same thing. It's $60,000 a year, and if you offset that all up front, like it's a huge.
And it's going against all your flipping.
Correct.
Taxes.
Now, yeah, and I'm not a tax guy, so if we're there's a CPA out there be like, well, that's not like we might be a little off here, but that's generally what happened, right? And it's literally like a huge number. Now I've used up all my depreciation, not all of it, but I've used up a big chunk. So like, you know, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years down the line, I'm not getting that depreciation write off because I've used it all already. You're taking it now for the time value of money, and two, like if you know you're going to have a big year, that's when you should use it.
And I'll go back to this. You'll always get a depreciation write-off, always. So
it's just how do you want to play it.
Your building, or example, $1 million building, and 20% of it qualifies for accelerated depreciation. It's $200K, but the remaining $800K is going to go on the straight lines.
You're correct. It's not zero, but it's depleted. That's absolutely correct.
You always I get guys all the time with bonus back to 100%. They'll say, well, if you depreciate my entire building, what do I do next year? But they're thinking we're taking the whole building. We're taking a piece of the building. It's called,
this is a random question. What's kind of normal percentage? Like you do a study, 25% of it will be quicker than the rest of it will be, 75 will be straight line. Is there a number you usually work on?
It depends on the property. So you think self-storage, I do a ton in self-storage. It's a big open warehouse with a bunch of little warehouses in it, right? So there's not a lot of guts, we like to say. But if I did a surgical center, specialty piping for anesthesia, there's tons of stuff. So medical facilities get a huge...
It might be 75, 25.
It's a huge thing, yeah. So multifamily, I just tell guys, just like when you underwrite a deal, you don't want to overshoot. Just plan for 20%.
Yep.
Right? If we get over, great. If we're at 18, whatever. You know, it's not embarrassing for me. We were close. So just plan for that. And we've seen higher in multifamily too, but it all depends. It all depends.
Recapturing depreciation.
Yes.
I learned what this was on the wrong end of the transaction. So if you could, you kind of you said it a few times, you went over it. If anything, you just kind of break down what that exactly is.
I'll add a tangible one to this. Jeff and I had a building we thought we were going to hold for a long time. We ended up selling it, and we did a cost seg. So we did the cost seg, and then
sorry.
yeah,
So same thing.
and now like you recapture. And at the end of the day, it kind of washes out. Like, it's not the end of the world, but you just got to know that you're going to get hit with it then.
There's a day of reckoning. That's what I tell clients. So this is cost seg's here to garner more investment. The tax part of it is number 2. It's meant to free up cash flow so people invest more and more. So, if I freed up $100K for you on a property and you sold in 5 years, you're going to pay majority of that back. But the point of it is you don't pay $100K to the federal government and you reinvest that. So let's say you make 8% on $100K in 5 years. Well, you sell in 5 years, owe $100K back, but you made 8% out of thin air. So a way this guy David at my company explains it, it's like an interest-free loan from the government, right? They're going to say, you'd get this money anyway in a matter of years. Take it, reinvest it, but when you sell your property, the loan's due back.
Correct.
At 0% interest. So that's another way to think of it too.
But even if you put in like a 2% or 3% bond, or you know what I'm saying, like just that
Anything,
alone,
anything, yeah.
repaying a loan back 10 years from now, that money is worth less than it is today.
Yes.
Like that's the biggest thing you have going, especially in a high inflation environment.
It's the time value of money concept, which we learned about in high school. Never made sense to me until you see it in action. This is it in action. Yeah, because guys would tell me, or we'd learn it again.
Yeah, no clue what it meant.
It was like, what do you mean? It's still money,
Yeah.
But now I see, it's a big difference.
I had this convo with one of my kids because we were talking about lottery winners, where it's like you can get $100,000 a year or take it all up front, but if it's all up front, it's half the amount. And they're like, well, why would you do that? And I was like, well, because it's like if the balance is whatever, half of it, but you can, over a period of time, you can make it worth more than those chunks.
Always take it up front. Not just because of what I do for a living. Always take it up front.
So,
and in the lotto, real quick, side thing, if you die, those payments stop. Did you know that? So if you took it, the payments, like you won, they would stop that. It's crazy.
Ooh, there you
that's
go.
why you take it up front too.
There might be another question I had. So with depreciation recapture, what happens if you never sell the building?
That's awesome. Great question. So,
If you die.
the wealthiest of the wealthy do a strategy called defer, 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 die. Yeah, dude, it's awesome. Depreciation is not recaptured at death. So these guys build a huge portfolio, depreciate the crap out of it, never sell. Upon death, their heirs inherit it with a step up in basis, and depreciation resets. They can do it all over again.
Wow.
Wild.
That's part of that's another. I never really explained this. I always explained the step up basis.
Sure.
But I never explained that part as a benefit. So
Yeah.
that's huge.
A simple thing for your guys, listeners, too. Sorry, I jumped on you there.
Yeah. You got excited.
I
It's all right.
totally, yeah.
I do it all the time. I'll do it to you later today.
Yeah. You just did it.
You want to start talking right now?
I think, hold on, what was I going to say? That was good.
it's a cliffhanger. It's something good for our listeners.
It was good. It was for your listeners, too. Depreciation, inherit it.
You have to tune in the next episode.
So a lot of people, no joke, they don't understand this. You sell me your building, the depreciation resets. So I get asked more than you'd think. Well, the guy I'm buying it from already depreciated over 10 years. Like,
Yeah,
it's not
shot
even
clock
like,
restarts.
I was
with
like,
change
yeah,
of
man,
possession.
it's going to renew for you. And, well, the cabinets have been there so long, it doesn't matter. Like on paper, it's all born again, so to speak.
Yep. All right, so we've mentioned 100% recapture because that's where we were a couple years ago.
Just recapture, not 100%, but yeah.
Recapture, sorry.
Yeah.
Let's go back to, because I'm talking about the step down. It was 100%, 80, 60. I think it's at 40 now.
Sure.
And then starting with any buildings purchased after January of this year, of 2025, and
January 19th.
put in service after that date, we're back to 100%. Or
Yes.
You were
walk
on
us
5
through
years ago. Take us through the timeline of like what that was.
Was it 5 years ago?
Yeah, it was. It
that.
might have been.
Yeah,
It was-
4 or 5 years ago.
I think, too, you guys were my first podcast ever.
All right.
So that was
Pop the
pretty
cherry?
cool. Yeah, and I was pretty nervous, too. I mean,
We're not number 2 this time, right? You done much?
no,
Okay,
yeah, I've
good.
done a handful more. But honestly, maybe like number 8. I don't know.
Yeah,
but But yeah, no, I did want to get on this bad. I know I was texting you a lot. Like, dude, get me in the basement. Dude.
No, we'll screenshot the text thread. There's a lot of Kev. I've sent you the link. What's up? Calling BS on this.
You know what? Busted.
Probably a lot of
busted. But I know I asked. So.
I know I got my IG message too.
Yeah.
What?
So wait, let's talk about 4 or 5 years ago.
So start from 4 or 5 years
Okay.
ago and kind of like
Where it is-
when it was there and what he was
Sure.
walking through and the new bill and all that. How that.
All right, so we'll start here. When I started, Cost Seg 1.0 was we're going to segregate assets in the building, put them on a 5, 7, or 15-year schedule. Those things would depreciate over 5, 7, or 15 years. Come President Trump, first term, introduced the Tax Cuts Jobs Act. So that was properties purchased September 27th, 2017, all the way up to December 31st, 2022, would get 100% bonus depreciation on any assets segregated out of a building that had a 20-year life or less. Okay, so for what we do in real estate, it's 5, 7, 15. There's,
So what is that
machinery,
bonus depreciation? What does that mean?
So what that means is instead of waiting 5, 7, or 15 years in the real estate realm to get the accelerated depreciation, you would take all of those items 100% up front. So if 5-year assets, you had 100 grand in and 15-year assets, 200 grand in, you don't have to wait for the 300K. You're going to take 300K of depreciation up front today. So that was that time frame. Trump also set it up so this stuff would sunset. So you got 100% for, let's call it 5 years, 2017 to 2022, 4.5 years. And then anything acquired in 2023, you'd get 80% of the depreciation up front. Anything in 24, 60%. Anything in 25, 40%, which would have sunset in 2 more years.
You still
Yeah.
got all the depreciation. You just didn't get it as soon as
You nailed it.
Yeah, this is the bonus.
Up front, yeah. So an example, yeah, it's bonus, yeah. So we talked about one of your buildings, or no, 25 acquisition. Maybe it wasn't yours, but probably before we're filming. It's 40% depreciation up front. So if I said, hey, if you do Cost Seg, we're gonna get 100K depreciation, you'd get 40 of it up front if you acquired in 25, pre-January 19th. And then the rest you'd get over probably the next 5 years, 4 years.
Yep. Now, what happens? That building is purchased February of 2025. It's put in service.
Yes.
You're back to 100%
Yeah.
bonus.
So just
you said
to clear
it
it-
lightly. January 19th.
Yeah,
is the,
I was just
the
going to
line.
do
Okay.
same. We're on the same page. As anything acquired, they were going to go retroactive. They decided not to. That would have been awesome. So back to 23.
I got a few good ones that would
I
have been
know.
good.
The guy I was talking to bought literally like December 30th, 2024. He's like, I could have waited like 3 weeks easily. I'm like, well, sorry, man, you didn't. But anyway, so yeah, anything acquired January 19th, 2025, moving forward, we'll get 100% bonus depreciation. So that's awesome. At least for the next few years, we're going to have it. Who knows when
Yeah.
the next administration comes in or what that
Is there any sunsetting formula to that, or is that just
No, I mean, right now it's 2029, December 31st, 29. They're talking about keeping it in indefinitely. What are the odds of that? I don't know. So I got about 4 years to make some good dough.
In my head, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna quit claim this to another LLC. right. Like, there's ways around this.
Let's get our boy on the phone.
Yeah. Even let's go back to a building purchase in 2025. This still works. You're just that bonus is much less.
You nailed it. Yep. And then a little hidden gem. I mean, a little thing I like doing is I did a restaurant in Hinsdale. The guy acquired the property in 2003. I did the study in 2023. And there was 70K net benefit. We saved him 70G still on his income tax. So a lot of people, common misconception, well, I've held it 5 years already. I can't do a cost seg. Yeah, you could. Like, let's have a look here. At the end of the day, the numbers tell the story. If there's meat on the bone, the proposition's compelling. You're either going to do it,
Yeah.
Is it worth $5,000 to save 70? Yeah.
We just broke down the dates, the different percentages, all that stuff. But I want to make sure I summarize exactly what I'm hearing is doing a cost seg, no matter what these things, these different terms or different laws are, is beneficial. It's just only been more beneficial and even more so now because you get this bonus depreciation.
I'd say it's fair to say, but I'd also say, again, like I mentioned in the beginning, doesn't mean it's always beneficial for you. So like I like to run the analysis, run numbers for anybody. But I don't say do it or don't do it. I say bring this back to your tax guy, right? And make sure this fits into your overall strategy. So I would say always look into it, but I wouldn't say it's blanketed. It's always a good thing.
Do you get a lot of referrals from? Do CPAs like this, or do they get annoyed by it?
I think the smart ones like it. I mean, you're helping your clients pay less income tax. So
do you get a lot of referrals from CPAs, or how do you?
I'd say 90% of my business is from CPAs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the rest, brokers, lenders, property casualty insurance guys, Mark Ainley, Tom Shawcross. But yeah.
So let's talk about the actual like nuts and bolts. Like let's get into like the engineering side of this. So, talk to us high level. If I just rehab the property, does that make it more advantageous? How does that work? Or if I did a rehab 10 years ago, like some of those like variables, how does that factor into the benefits of the cost seg?
Well, it's all about basis. So the more money you spend, your basis goes up. So there'll be more for us to look at. But here, you bought a building, you rehab it, then do cost seg, or I buy the building that's already rehab turnkey. It's going to be very similar benefit there.
Yep.
Because the parts and pieces are the parts and pieces, and then what you spent is going to go into the equation. But a guy who just bought a brand new turnkey place, that goes into his purchase price anyway. You're going to, you know what I mean? So it's a good question. I get asked a lot, but it won't really. Do you buy and build or buy and remodel or just buy a brand new place? What's better? It's very similar outcome.
Yep. And then I know we did one with Jeff and I did another one with you where we did the cost seg, then did a massive rehab and did like almost like a phase 2 to do it again with the new pieces.
Got it. Yeah. So that's that good example. And recent, excuse me, phase 1, phase 2. So a lot of guys, the reason we did it in 2 phases was investors needed a tax write-off that year. So some guys say, I'm not paying that much this year anyway. I'll just wait. Let's just wait till I finish the rehab. But some guys go, shit, I need a write-off this year, but next year the work's going to be done. So we do 2 phases. It's a phase 1, phase 2. So we'll cost seg the building as is. And then when the construction's done, we'll do a phase 2 on that.
It's like a draw.
Yeah, draw seg. Hey,
there you
might
go.
be on something. Yeah, but it's just a phase study. Yeah, good point. It happens all the time. Sometimes just timelines don't line up, and you got to break it up in 2. So,
got it. And then what would you say is like the minimum? Like if someone's got a 2-unit worth, their basis is $500K. Is that starting to get too small to justify the cost seg
Sure.
There's got to be a point where like it's just the cost of the cost seg doesn't justify the ends on the smaller property.
Totally get it. Great question. I'd say I'm very happy to be a provider. We'll look at buildings with a basis as low as under $50K. And then our firm we just completed 55,000 of these successfully nationwide. So the volume's there to make the fee, you'd want to do it, right? So at 150K property, let's say the depreciation's 30K. At the end of the day, they'll save 10. Maybe we'll charge the guy $1,500. So is it worth $1,500 to save 10? Yeah. So most companies want to see $1 million basis. So I'm very happy to work with guys who are just new to real estate, be a resource all the way up to I've done deals $300 million developments and stuff. So
is it safe to say that anybody that's doing some sort of rehab should run this by you? Like they should call you up, send you a text,
pitch.
You have the conversation with them, and no matter what, worst case scenario, they just got educated on their next building.
You nailed it. Yes. And I love that. I had a guy call me and he's like, I was like, hey, hello, it's Kevin. He goes, it's actually you? I said, yeah, it's me, dude. it's me.
You.
I kind of felt like a celebrity for a minute. I'm like, yeah, man. He's like, dude, this is so cool. I was like, yeah. So
I do the same thing. I want, before investors buy a building, they know that they might know they're going to hire us, but it's like, dude, let me help you this front end because I don't want to,
Sure.
and then hindsight, be like, dude, what the fuck did you buy that for?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. But I love how you put it. Yes, I'm here to be a resource. Again, there's no pushy sales BS tactics.
Do you guys have any tool on your website or anything like enter this here, take your 5-step questionnaire?
Love this, dude. I'm very impressed with it. I don't know if we could put a link.
And by the way,
or something.
when you go there, make sure you say you got him from the podcast.
Yeah,
you got to
yeah.
make sure Kev's knows where he's getting exposure from.
Yeah. No, do it. But we just came up. This calculator is awesome. So we'll put a link. We want to push for an app. I think that'd be cool.
Oh, there you
Free
go.
app. but a calculator app. So CSSIServices.com, top right, click, it'll say calculator. Let's just do it real quick. You can edit it out.
Wait, we'll link this to the show notes.
Yeah, you should, though. This is awesome. Did I show the camera?
It's too far.
See, that's huge for marketing reasons. We're putting together right now, like a get an instant quote for property management without having to talk to us. Like
There you go.
You just
Right?
market that. Like people don't want the friction of having to talk to people a lot of times.
Yeah.
Could,
Or it's 2 a.m. and they know you're not available.
could this solve
Sure.
my problem? Okay, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. So here, calculator.
I just put it all in. And it'll,
Oh, see,
Yeah,
that's
apartment, tax rate, 37 building costs. We'll just do it. But what's cool is I like what they do now. They give you a, Eric Hurd. Great. But a low and high. So
Okay.
a low and high, and that's awesome. So the range is a really cool thing to have.
yeah, it
But
gets you in the ballpark.
It does. It does.
So, all right, you mentioned being a resource. What do we got here? What else are we holding? We saw the phone. What's this? We got reusable tape. What is this?
Zip tape.
All right, what's green zip tape?
Guys,
Why
this-
should someone doing a
this-
Cost Seg Kev?
Yes. So this is our sponsor today, by the way, Green Zip Tape. So once we got acquired by PE, there's a group called Green Zip. This has been out since 2008. It is the IRS, 100% IRS approved, congressionally backed drywall tape. So the IRS literally tested every drywall tape on the market. We got a video of that online. This is the only one when you put on a wall and you peel it off, it doesn't damage the drywall whatsoever. Okay, so movable walls, partition walls, qualify for 5-year tax treatment. This allows you to remove, reuse, relocate. It's the only drywall tape. You peel off, it exposes the screws. You can reuse it. Do you have to reuse it? No. But the fact that you can lets those walls be treated as 5-year property, which 5-year assets qualify for bonus depreciation. So if you use this drywall tape on any non-load bearing wall, non-structural wall, the tape allows the walls, the drywall itself, usually a 27.5 or 39-year asset, to be treated as a 5-year property. 5-year property.
You get the paint too?
The paint
Nice.
you put on it, the studs that hold it up, wood or metal, any electrical conduit going through that wall, and any plumbing piping going through that wall. So we're taking a huge chunk of the wall and making it 5-year property. The cool thing now, anyone who has used this, and I'll do some huge name drops of companies that have use this. It's the end benefit's going to be 2 to 3 times higher than a traditional cost seg study if you use this stuff.
That's pretty crazy. That's like it's almost like those guys who will look for the hail damage on the roof. Like, it's got this, and I need this. Like,
Yeah, so
so
partnership.
you get the dry. Like, you wouldn't get the 5 years on the drywall, the paint, the studs, and now just because this tape's on there,
You nailed it. Yeah. And so a lot
it's
of
a
guys.
pretty big loophole.
It's huge. Not a loophole. I mean, it's been around since 08. So CBRE, 150 projects using this. Heinz, they've used it on select projects the past 12 years. BP Oil and Gas Headquarters, done. Bank of America, using it. The big construction partners, Turner Construction is a big proponent of this, and Clark Construction as well. So now I'm kind of tasked with parading this around, but man, it's a huge benefit. I believe in it big time. A lot of pushbacks coming from CPA saying it's not real. There's a private letter ruling on this from the IRS saying this is all good. And then one thing, shame on me, I didn't know, it's congressionally approved. So Congress dictates to the IRS what's good and what's not. I didn't know that. I thought they kind of operated independent, but so yeah, this is the real deal. It's been heavily vetted. 2 of the big firms that vetted it, PricewaterhouseCoopers, it's one of the top 10 largest CPA firms, and RSM McGladrey, now it's RSM, actually vetted this in 2015. They used it on their corporate headquarters in Dallas. So these are big groups taking big benefit here. So just so your listeners know, it doesn't have to be a huge building like I just talked about, these skyscraper things. So like a Bank of America branch, done. We'll look at residential remodels too. And then all we want to do is see how much linear feet of this stuff you need to see if it's,
makes sense. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
because we do have to pay these guys a licensing fee for the partnership. So
Got it.
That's awesome.
Also,
it really is.
great move by the private equity putting 2 and 2 together there. I
Right?
swear.
Come on,
That's
Come
what they
on,
do.
man. Yeah.
I mean, great pitch of that. Like that was like.
I mean, I
feel like you've done that 100
I'm
times.
so into this. I'm so into it. And dude, I love sharing it. And I tell people, here, do you want a roll? I'll drop a roll off. And so far I've dropped off 3 rolls, 3 different contractors. They said there's 0. They're like, dude, it's the same shit as anything. And it is. I mean, but it's crazy. So maybe we'll post a link to the video we have, a 1-minute video explainer. On
All
this.
right, we'll do that. Cool.
Hey, wait, let's do this real quick.
Is that Mike Gregoris? I saw the name.
Mikey, what's up?
What's up, bud?
I'm on the Straight Up Chicago podcast. You're live.
Oh, nice.
Mike, how you doing?
How are you?
I just pitched
Just
him.
calling to chat about my cost seg, but I'll let you guys wrap it up and listen to this show.
All right, I'll call you after this, buddy. All right, see ya.
I thought he was going to say, I just saved 100.
I'm doing one for him now. It's a good one. So
So, anything else our listeners should know about Cost Seg that we didn't cover?
the recapture is the biggest thing. I mean, I get asked the same questions every day. What happens if I sell? We covered that. Kind of how does it work? I'd say no. You got any questions? Come to me direct. Yes, I pick up the phone as we spoke about. I don't have like a VA or anything like that. It's me. Text me, call me, email me. Happy to be a resource and see if we could.
I got one more question. It's not around Cost Seg, but it's about networking and building a business, because you've done something very impressive. We already talked about you've given yourself a persona. All I hear about is you going out to these 2, 3, 4 hour lunches with people. It's like, how do you get stuff done? How are you so successful? I guess in that sense.
So it's one lunch a day because I make them count. That way. I'd say my first 5 years here, I went door to door, man. I'd go in a 7-Eleven and say, "Is this corporate owned?" And so half the time people were dicks, and half the time they're like, "No, Tom owns this one. Can I have his number?" Yeah. So I did that, let's say, for 3 years. Then a guy, Todd Strumpfer at my company, our top sales guy still, said, "Dude, you're doing it wrong. Don't go to the building owner. Go to their most trusted advisors." Because I'd go get an analysis done for you, and you'd bring it to your CPA, and they go, "Oh, that is a good idea, but we use ABC firm."
Yeah.
So what a waste of time. So I started hanging with CPAs, tax attorneys, real estate attorneys, and they would bring me up or refer me a guy, test me out. And let's say they referred me you. "Hey, meet Mark. He owns some buildings. He owes a lot in income tax. I do a good job for you." They'd go, "Hey, I have 50 marks for you." And I'd say, "Sweet." So then it clicked. So tax is boring, let's be honest. There's cool parts of it, like these niche things, sweet. But yeah, so then I started networking with, tax professionals and whatnot. And then what I found was, go to a nice place, kind of wine and dine, get whatever you want. I don't care. Are we drinking? Are we not drinking? Whatever. Usually I have a martini or something. So after that, that's like my thing. It's not a schmooze thing. It comes natural. And then I really try to connect with people. The business you could cover in 5 minutes, but then it's, what do you like to do? Try to get some commonality. Every business, still to this day, I don't care about AI, will be a relationship-based business. At the end of the day, somewhere down the line in there, it's relationship-based. So that's it. I just took a lot of people to a lot of nice restaurants, and then was myself. And I think I'm pretty personable. Or I take them golfing or something. And
we'd agree you're pretty personable.
yeah, thank you. Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Very good. All right. Ready to wrap?
Yeah, for sure.
Let's do it.
About time. Jesus. No, I'm kidding.
All right, what's your competitive advantage? You kind of already gave it away, but in general, how have you been able to do so much while so many other people wish they could?
So we're national. That's a great question. National firm. I hate to put it this way, but it was explained to me this way. We do a huge volume of studies. So as far as pricing goes, we could compete with anybody. There will be tons of mom and pops popping up. Given the big, beautiful bill, I like to say we're the most experienced firm in the U.S. We are, 55,000 of these. And when you're working with the federal government, you want to use an experienced provider. So experience, time, expediency. So the PE group's got us at 2-week studies now. Typically, they're 4 to 6 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'd say timing, pricing, experience, that's the competitive advantage.
And you answer your phone everywhere.
Yeah, and so don't put me here. I don't always answer it, but you could always call me. You know what I mean? So I don't say I pick up every time, man. And sometimes I can't.
All right. What is one piece of advice you would tell someone that has yet to buy their first property in the Chicagoland area?
I'd say this: don't do it alone. Partner with someone way more experienced. That would be the piece of advice. I looked at stuff on my own. Then I'd show people, like, "Man, I'm looking at buying this." Dude, don't. Red flags all over the place. But to me, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, it's close to my house." None of that matters, man. So that's what I'd say. That's a good piece of advice. Partner with someone who's done it successfully a bunch of times, and then learn from them, and then do it. I would never go solo on anything. Did you buy your first on your own? You just said screw it?
Yeah, but I partnered up pretty quickly. Pretty quickly, yeah.
What about you, Mark?
Same thing.
Yeah.
I like partners because the skill sets and just sometimes you're busy doing other things and they can pick up or vice versa. I mean, look, I got a podcast for the partner for the podcast. Like that's
it's good.
People all the time fail on podcasts because they don't have a part. They got to do it by themselves. But it's like some seasons you're hot, some seasons I'm hot. Like sometimes we're both and we're on fire. But I think you always carry each other partners and then skill set. We have different skill sets too in a way.
Sure. Yeah. No, that's good. Good question.
Different networks. Partners bring a lot to the table.
Yeah, I'd agree.
All right, what do you do for fun?
So I love. You saw I started my Instagram Cost Seg Kev channel. So I've been playing guitar for 18, 19 years. So I rip it up.
There you go.
Pretty heavily.
You and your brother.
And my bro, yeah. He's taught me actually. And then piano I got into again too. I've probably played on and off for 10 years.
Oh, you're a pianist. That's awesome.
Yeah, pianist. And then golf. So I golfed with Tom. I suck, but I love golfing.
The one thing I would always want to do is people that walk to a piano at a party and just sit down and start playing. Like,
Yeah,
that's,
there you go.
that's something I'll never do, but I've always wanted to do.
Yeah, I'll show you a couple of things you could do.
Yeah, there's a couple quick tricks.
Chopsticks?
Look at you.
No, not chopsticks, but
So, I give us a good book, podcast, or self-development activity you recommend to our listeners.
podcast. Your guys' podcast is great. It's actually one of the only real estate ones I listen to. At Your Command by Neville Goddard.
All
I'll
right.
probably listen to that 100 times, but if you're not into that stuff, no biggie. A lot of people don't think I am, but I am. I'm one of those manifestation guys.
I believe. Very good.
All right. Other new self, name a valuable resource for other Chicago real estate investors.
Oh, man. This part of the segment.
Yeah. Let's
Wow.
name drop some people.
Okay. Shit. This is good. Dude, there's so many. I would say a good friend who became a good friend and referral partner would be CPA James Mayan, who's at a firm Morrison & Morrison. They got acquired recently by a big group, Eisner Amper. You see a lot of PE activity in CPA firms. But yeah, he's been a great guy, taught me a lot, picked up on this right away, big proponent of cost segregation, and is just an open-minded guy. Any ideas I bring him, he kind of listens with an open mind, and then I've sent a lot of clients his way, as I do with a handful of CPAs, and I've got no complaints back yet, so he's on the good side.
Yeah, totally biased because he's one of my closest friends.
Yeah.
And my accountant.
So funny enough, though, I went to high school. I was at the same high school as Tom and James, but they were 2 years older, 3?
We're Brendan's age, yeah, so 3 years.
It's like we hung out, but it's funny down the line, now we're in business. It's like
Yeah.
funny how life works.
All right, so Kev, thank you so much. You provide a ton of value to our listeners. How can they learn more about you? Is there any way they can provide value to you?
Sure, yeah. So always open to other tax strategies. So I'm not a one-trick pony. There's a few things we do at my firm. But if there's any other tax strategies out there, I want to hear about it. So the more I learn about and the more I can provide value to my clients, I remain kind of sticky, right, to them. So I don't want to just be a cost seg dude who just does cost seg and that's it. So I'd love to hear any strategies out there. Reach out to me, costsegkev.com, or you guys will post my cell. Do I say my cell or don't say my cell?
Go ahead. If you want.
Good, yeah.
People listen, though. Go ahead.
That's true. 773-931-6498.
And he answers every time.
Yeah.
Pressure's on. All right. We end with our Chicago fact. Mark, who we playing for?
All right. So we're playing for Matt Hedinger. And Matt, if myself or Kevin gets this question right, you'll get a $50 gift card brought to you by Cost Segregation Services, CSSI.
Sweet.
All right, very good. So I know you're a Downers Grove guy now, but you mentioned you're from the neighborhood, so I got a Portage Park question for us.
All right.
All right. What is the most northern street within the Portage Park? The most northern street in Portage Park, according to the official map. And your options are Montrose, Sunnyside, Lawrence, or Gunnison.
Gunnison.
Sunnyside.
It's Gunnison.
Yeah, baby.
Right where Charlotte was. I knew you know it. Your place is right there.
We did it together.
You know,
it was
not-
teamwork.
Oh, it was?
It wasn't great. It was, one of us had to get it right for Matt. I like the competitiveness.
so
Don't get me wrong.
sorry.
No, that's cool, man.
I'm
That
so
thing's gonna
sorry.
fuck you.
Nailed it.
I'm the least competitive guy. There.
So,
Sorry, Mark. That was
all right, Matt, you get a $50 gift card thanks to Kevin and definitely getting it over me. So, all right, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Tom, thank you as always. Listeners, be our friend. Reach out to us. We want to hear what you're working on. We want to know what you're up against, what challenges. If you're hearing about new things, laws, rules, aldermen making moves, suburbs changing their way they play. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Reach out anytime. You go to straightupchicagoinvestor.com and go to Ask Mark and Tom, or find us on Instagram. So,
Sweet.
Kevin, thank you. Tom, thank you. Listeners, we'll see you next week.